Massachusetts. The name conjures up images of prestigious universities and cutting-edge industries. It's a state synonymous with academic excellence and technological advancements. It's a place where dreams are made, and innovation thrives. From the bustling streets of Boston to the serene campuses of its world-renowned institutions, Massachusetts is a hub of creativity and progress. People come from all over the world to study, work, and immerse themselves in an environment that fosters growth and opportunity. They come to build a better life, driven by the promise of a brighter future. The state boasts a rich history, vibrant culture, and a unique blend of old-world charm and modern innovation. Massachusetts is committed to progress, constantly evolving while honoring its storied past. It is a beacon of opportunity, a place where the American dream feels within reach. Massachusetts stands as a testament to the American spirit, embodying resilience, innovation, and community. Massachusetts has a long tradition of social and economic mobility. For generations, immigrants and working-class families have found a foothold in its cities and towns. They have worked hard, contributed to their communities, and built lives filled with hope and promise. Through their efforts, they have achieved a good quality of life, creating a legacy of opportunity that continues to inspire. This legacy of opportunity is part of what makes Massachusetts so special. It's a place where dreams can be realized and where the future is always being shaped. However, beneath this veneer of prosperity lies a troubling reality. The cost of living in Massachusetts, particularly housing, has skyrocketed in recent years. This surge in expenses has created significant challenges for many residents. This has made it increasingly difficult for many residents, especially those in low and middle income brackets, to make ends meet. The dream of owning a home or even affording rent is slipping away for many. The struggle to maintain a decent standard of living is becoming more pronounced, with families having to make tough choices just to get by. The gap between the rich and the poor is widening, creating a stark contrast between affluence and poverty. The American dream is becoming increasingly elusive for many as economic disparities grow and the cost of living continues to rise. Massachusetts is home to some of the world's most renowned universities, making it a global hub for education and research. Harvard, MIT, Tufts, and others draw the brightest minds from around the globe, fostering a diverse and dynamic academic environment. These institutions are not just centers of learning, they are engines of innovation and economic growth, driving advancements in various fields. They attract billions of dollars in research funding and spawn countless startups and spin-offs, contributing significantly to the local and national economy. The presence of these universities has fueled a booming tech industry in Massachusetts, making it a leading center for technological innovation. The area around Boston, known as the Route 128 corridor, is a hub for software development, biotechnology, and other high-tech sectors, attracting top talent and investment. Companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook have established a major presence in the state, drawn by the availability of highly skilled workers and the innovative ecosystem. This concentration of wealth and talent has brought many benefits to Massachusetts, including a thriving business environment and vibrant communities. It has led to job creation, economic growth, and a higher standard of living for many residents, making Massachusetts a desirable place to live and work. However, it has also created challenges, particularly in terms of affordability and inequality, as the cost of living continues to rise and disparities become more pronounced. The influx of high-income earners, coupled with limited housing supply, has driven up housing costs to astronomical levels. In the Boston metropolitan area, the median home price is now over $800,000. Rents have also soared, making it nearly impossible for many working families to afford a decent place to live. The housing crisis is affecting everyone, from young professionals to seniors on fixed incomes. Teachers, nurses, and other essential workers are being priced out of the communities they serve. Many are forced to commute long distances, live in overcrowded conditions, or even face homelessness. The lack of affordable housing has far-reaching consequences. It exacerbates inequality, limits economic mobility, and undermines the social fabric of communities. It is a problem that demands urgent attention. The rising cost of living in Massachusetts has disproportionately impacted low and middle-income families. While the wealthy have seen their incomes rise, wages for many workers have stagnated. This has led to a widening gap between the rich and the poor, which is evident in various aspects of life. In affluent communities, residents enjoy access to top-rated schools, excellent health care, and a plethora of amenities. Meanwhile, in less prosperous areas, schools are underfunded, healthcare is scarce, and opportunities are limited. This growing divide is creating a two-tiered society where one's zip code can determine their life chances. Section 5. Sarah's story, a single mother's struggle. Sarah is a single mother of 2 young children who works as a certified nursing assistant in a nursing home outside of Boston. Every day, she juggles the demands of her job with the needs of her children, trying to provide them with a stable and loving home. She loves her job and takes pride in caring for her elderly patients. The relationships she builds with them bring her immense joy and a sense of purpose. However, despite working long hours and picking up extra shifts, she is struggling to make ends meet. The stress of her financial situation often weighs heavily on her, making it difficult to focus on her work and family. Sarah's rent has increased significantly in recent years, and she is constantly worried about being priced out of her apartment. The rising cost of living in her area has made it nearly impossible to save any money for emergencies or future needs. She is forced to choose between paying for groceries, rent, or utilities. Each month, she faces the difficult decision of which bills to pay and which to delay, knowing that any missed payment could have serious consequences. Sometimes she has to rely on food banks and assistance programs just to put food on the table for her children. These resources are a lifeline for her family, but they also serve as a constant reminder of her precarious situation. Sarah dreams of a better future for her children, but she feels trapped by her circumstances. She wants to provide them with opportunities she never had, but the path forward seems uncertain and fraught with obstacles. She wants them to have access to good schools and opportunities, but she doesn't know how she will afford to stay in their community much longer. The fear of having to uproot her family and move to a less desirable area is a constant source of anxiety for her. Section 6. John's story, priced out of his hometown. John is a retired teacher who has lived in his home for over 40 years. He raised his family there and has deep roots in the community. However, John is now facing the heartbreaking prospect of having to sell his home because he can no longer afford the property taxes. John's pension and social security checks are not enough to cover the rising costs of living, especially his property taxes, which have skyrocketed in recent years. He has cut back on expenses wherever he can, but is still struggling to make ends meet. John is devastated by the thought of leaving his home and his community. He worries about what will happen to him if he is forced to move. His story is a stark reminder of the human cost of the housing crisis. Section 7. A call for action. The challenges facing Massachusetts are complex and multifaceted. However, they are not insurmountable. There are concrete steps that policymakers, businesses, and individuals can take to address the housing crisis, reduce inequality, and create a more just and equitable society. One crucial step is to increase the supply of affordable housing. This requires a multi-pronged approach, including zoning reform, tax incentives for developers, and direct investment in affordable housing projects. It is essential to create a range of housing options to meet the needs of all residents. Another critical area for action is to address wage stagnation. This includes raising the minimum wage, strengthening collective bargaining rights, and investing in workforce development programs. When workers earn a living wage, they are better able to afford housing, support their families, and contribute to the economy. Section 8. Building a brighter future. Addressing the challenges facing Massachusetts will require a collective effort. It will demand a commitment from elected officials, business leaders, community organizations, and everyday citizens. It will require a willingness to challenge the status quo, embrace innovative solutions, and prioritize the well-being of all residents. It is time to rekindle the spirit of opportunity that has always defined Massachusetts. It is time to ensure that the American dream remains within reach for everyone, regardless of their background or zip code. By working together, we can create a brighter future for all who call Massachusetts home. Section 9. A shared responsibility. The challenges facing Massachusetts are not unique to the Bay State. Across the United States, communities are grappling with rising housing costs, growing inequality, and a widening opportunity gap. The stories shared in this essay are just a glimpse into the struggles faced by millions of Americans. It is time for a national conversation about these critical issues. It is time to demand action from our leaders and hold them accountable for creating a more just and equitable society. we must remember that we are all in this together. The well-being of our communities depends on the well-being of all residents. What can you do to make a difference? Educate yourself about the issues. Contact your elected officials. Support organizations working to address the housing crisis and inequality. Every voice matters. Every action counts. Together, we can create a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.